Hey guys, so I'm just gonna show you how we basically play an alert out, or do a live alert. Kind of show you how it works if this signals. If not, you'll never see this video. So we'll see here. As you see, it looks like we're gonna close and get this cell signal here, which we did. So here, now that we got the cell signal here, we just got our alert to buy SPY puts. So then we would just go in, and it says what buy SPY puts for um, today's date for uh, no less than a dollar, right? Wow, the puts on here are pretty crazy. The premiums. So we'll go with the 530 puts here for about 111. Um, let's see how it goes. Okay. So I got filled at 107. Let's see what happens. Excuse me. Got filled at 106, not 107. Hope everyone's having a good day. Obviously, yesterday was a monster day. We'd love for another day like that. We'll see. I, Part of the reason I don't do this video is what the fuck do I say during this time? I'm not a huge talker. I don't know what you want me to say. Um, I'm just sitting around break even right now. So hopefully we'll get a push down, maybe down to this 533 area again. There we go. Up about 10%. So what you could do here is you could take profits here, or you could implement something like a trailing stop loss. There's a bunch of different ways to do that. So we're up about 10% now. Um, so you could take profits here. Um, Now we're up about 20%. So now I would implement a trailing stop loss here. Okay, we're up about 25%. Oh, Jesus Christ. So we're up about 30% here. So I would put, we're, sorry, it's a huge red candle. I don't know what to say. So we're up about 35% right now. There's probably some news going on. So you could take profits here, or you could implement a trailing stop loss. So, what's a trailing stop loss? So that is basically we're up about 45% now. So if the trailing stop goes to 50%, 55, Jesus Christ. So now I could say if we go back to 30%, I'll take profits. Okay. So what does that do? Right now we're at 60% profits, right? So that guarantees I secure at least 30%, 40%, 50%, whatever it may be, right? So right now we're up about 70%. Okay. So I could say 50% is my trailing stop loss. So what that does is um, that gives me the flexibility to stay in this trade a little bit longer. And yes, I may not get that 70%, but if we go back to 50%, which we're getting kind of close here, I can then close a trade and I have a 50% win. Okay. It also allows me to potentially stay in the trade a little bit longer. Okay. So we'll just kind of see what happens here. I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye on it pretty closely here, and we'll see what happens. Now, if it goes to something like 80%, then I could say, okay, I'm going to move this to 60%, and that's how a trailing stop loss works. Okay, whether you use it hard or mental. See, now we're at 80%, so I could move my trailing stop loss up to um, uh, whatever percent. I'm at about 80% right now. That's good enough for me. I'm going to take profits here. And I just closed at 80% profits. And that's it. Um, on these huge red candles right here, they could be a little bit sketchy. You know what I mean? Could I have stayed in this trade longer? Obviously something's going on, right? So I'm just kind of watching here now, and we're now at 92% had we held, right? So that's why the trailing stop loss can be very helpful. Okay, um, we're now at 100%. Okay, so I kind of spooked myself out of that trade a little bit, but this is I just want to be clear, this is not typical. What we're seeing right here is not typical price action. Okay. We're at 100% here right now. Again, I did take profits at 80%. So let's just kind of see what happens with the trade. So you can at least get a little bit of an idea of how things, again, this isn't really the best example for that, but yeah, we'll just kind of see where things go. I'm curious as to um, where things go. So we're up about 110% on the trade right now. So if you were again using that trailing stop loss, and look how fast we just wicked back to 100. Um, So if you were using a 10% trailing stop loss, boom, you would have gotten triggered there. Okay. So whether you use a 10%, 15%, 20%, whether you move that trailing stop loss as you kind of, you know, um, as the trade kind of fluctuates, that's all up to you. I think 10% is usually a good, and then as you get up like higher into the trade, as you get close to 100%, you can kind of go 20%. Um, so um, so yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on, guys. I've been watching this. I mean, obviously, you have what's going on with the jobs report this morning. Uh, you know, let's take a look at our puts from yesterday. Let's see here. So our puts from yesterday that we got in are now up 300%. So not too fucking shabby. Um, Hope you guys are making some fucking money, man. You know, y- and this is why I love options. And even if you don't trade options, trade the triple leveraged ETF, trade the stock. Because uh, I think QQQ is down 10% over the last couple weeks or so. Um, So three times triple ETF, so that's 30% gains in 2 weeks if you bought SQQQ. Um, so um, it's important to use the resources that you have available to you. Okay. Um, so as you can see, this was just a monster trade. Again, every trade is going to be like this. But again, you can use your trailing stop loss as a way to kind of stay in this trade. Um, I got out a little early, but I would have because I was using a 20% trailing stop. So I took profits at about 80%. I would have taken profits here on this 20% wick here. Um, at about 90%. Okay. So that's why I use the trailing stop. Regardless of whether I use the trailing stop loss or not, as you guys have seen, I kind of used a combination here. But I still wouldn't be in this trade if I used the trailing stop loss. Um, so, and again, I don't use a hard trailing stop. I use a mental one. Um, so, um, yeah. Um, and just another thing, kind of to kind of go back to what I was talking about. Um, you don't just because you don't trade options, that doesn't mean that you can't make money in bear markets. Okay. Um, the market I love as much as I love to see the market going up. This shit is fucking money right here. All right, this is. I love seeing this just as much. This getting a sell signal here and entering here and then this is just as good as, if not maybe a little bit of an evil laugh, quote unquote, better, because you're playing the downside and it's like, oh fuck, I'm good at this, right? Um, so you can take advantage of the move down just as much as you can of the moves up. And that's what I want you guys to understand. You don't have to sit back and just watch your positions just die. You can follow the signals, and this is why I created these signals, because they're easy to follow. You know they're they're easy to follow. They're simple. Buy, sell. So um, anyways, that's all I got. As you can see, this trade is still open here. Again, we did close. Just to be clear, we closed. I closed at 80%. Had I used the trailing stop, it would have closed at about 90%. And the trade is up about 120% right now. And I just dropped my mouse. So I'm going to take that as a opportunity to end the video. So Anyways, that's just a quick show of how our infinity indicator works. You're not going to get 100% gains on every play as a day trade, okay? Every trade is not like this, all right? Um, so I just want to be clear about that. But this one was. So we made some money. Um, the account is up 8% today. Um, I'll probably call it a day, and it's fucking 10:15 in the morning. You know what I mean? So, anyways, that's all I got. Appreciate you guys watching, and give a like and subscribe if you guys like this content. If you guys want to see more of this stuff, if you want to learn more about the indicator, this the indicator is. I can't say enough about it. You know, we're giving a free trial on the indicator, so check it out and see what it's all about. You guys can find me at MT Investment Group um, or Reality Hacker Financial Group, or you can message me on at either at MT Investment Group, Reality Hacker Group, or my name, Colin Ranahan, on Facebook. So, anyways, that's all I got. Stay safe out there, guys, and make some money. Make some fucking money, y'all.